Hi, I'm Carol Valentine and I'm gonna talk about Dragon Age the Veilguard. I am a decent fan of Dragon Age. When it comes to BioWare, I really like Mass Effect, that would be my number one, and Dragon Age would be my number two. It could have been my number one, but we had Dragon Age Origins, which is one of the best games of all time. Dragon Age 2, which has a lot of mistakes and faults in it, I'll be honest, but it's still an experience worth experiencing. Dragon Age Inquisition, even worse than 2 in my humble opinion. The story and some of the writing, actually really good. Some of the moments, wow, okay. I don't hate it at all. But then the gameplay, which is basically a single player MMORPG, what were you doing? I recently tried to go back to it, and because, I'm going to talk about it in this video, as in relation to Dragon Age the Veilguard, which is a very confusing game, man. It's so mid. It's so freaking mid. I'm so freaking in the middle about it. I'm so confused. Like, I want to love it, and sometimes I see a whole bunch of gameplay videos and I love it, and then I hate it after seeing a couple of others, especially videos about story, the characters. We'll get to all of those. But yeah, back to what I was saying about Dragon Age Inquisition. That game had good gameplay. I'm not gonna lie, I was playing as a mage, and that's not a playstyle that you're too active with. You kind of just stand still in a good position and then just, cast magic. That's basically the whole thing, but I was still enjoying that. What really destroyed me immediately was after playing the game for 2 hours, I pressed M, which is the shortcut on a keyboard to show you. Everybody knows it. I don't even know why I'm explaining it. Anyhow, when I see the freaking map and when I zoom back and see all of those 20 million useless quest markers, I call them useless because you all know it's pesquetch galore. God damn it, like I was stabbed in my heart. My soul died on the spot. Like that's Dragon Age Inquisition actually had something. It could have been a really, really, really good game. It could have been actually worthy of a game of the year. 2014 was one of the worst years for gaming ever, by the way. So that's how it became the game of the year back then. But yeah, Dragon Age Inquisition, by the way, basically had fun combat. A lot of fun things, just the direction they took it to ruined it. Dragon Age the Veilguard, good things I can say about it is you don't have that stupid open world stuff right now that you had in Inquisition. That's good. We have a more focused experience and less wasting of time. You can actually sprint in this one, move fast, and I liked some of the light parkour elements, all the waltz and stuff that you can do. The combat, you cannot use your companions anymore. Dragon Age, the game, all about your companions, by the way. But oh well, at least the action combat seems fun. Mass Effect Andromeda, pretty bad game, but the gameplay was actually fun. And if the game in general with the story and the characters and it was good, and you fixed a couple of things with the combat, maybe like the taking cover mechanic, it was automatic and it was always messy, fix those and you would actually have a pretty fun game, because I liked Andromeda's gameplay despite all of that. And I even remember playing the multiplayer for a little bit just because I enjoyed it so much. But this is a good segue to it, because Dragon Age the Veilguard, it shocked me with how people praised the combat the whole time. And in the latest trailer, they kind of shut off all the stupid UI. It's horrible. The UI is way too much. And the effects, the green light, red light, giving you an epileptic seizure, they kind of toned those down. And it doesn't look half bad with that being done. But even if the gameplay is really, really good, it's BioWare. They're limited. They're not going to give us a From Software type, just 10 out of 10 gameplay. It's not going to happen. That much is obvious. So it lies on the characters and the story to carry this game. And besides the visuals, that's the area that I'm most concerned about, because the writing, the best thing I heard about the writing was it's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad either. You can sort of just get through it. That's like the best praise I heard of it. And then the bad stuff that I see and that I hear about it when I watch, a whole bunch of other YouTubers about this game and just looking at the comments of the people in general, man, it looks like the writing level on this game is like Mass Effect Andromeda. And yeah, or more like, no, please, God, no. I mean, you are now in a faraway land, as you were, just like in Mass Effect. Went from the Milky Way to Andromeda, so we can just get rid of all the choices that you made. That's a lot of work, man. We're gonna actually have to come up with cool concepts, do some hard work, and make a game that's worth your money. Nah, we don't need that. Let's go to Andromeda and forget about all of those. Same thing with this game. None of the choices you made in the past 3 Dragon Age games, none of it will matter. It won't matter. Even the 3 choices that we get to make now, those, I don't count them as the choices you made in the last game. We should be able to at least use the Dragon Age Keep, You're gonna remake the choices right in the beginning of the game. 3 choices. Did you disband the Inquisition? Who did you bang? And I don't even remember the third choice, I'll be honest with you, but it wasn't anything too crazy. And they even went with the lazy and just horrible PR lie of saying, oh, it was difficult to come up with all the solution to, include all the choices and the consequences in this game from the past 3 games. That's just too much. So instead of doing something low quality, we decided to not do it at all. Like doing just one cameo wouldn't be satisfying. But I think everybody in the community, me included, would have preferred to at least see some fan favorite characters return. Just like how we saw Liliana in Dragon Age 2, for example. That was nothing groundbreaking at all. But I still remember it because it was freaking cool. I heard that one of the developers don't even know who Zevran was. I never fact checked that, or I don't know where that comes from. But if that's true, like that doesn't give me confidence at all, as you can see. And then the graphical direction. I don't need this to be like Origin. Origin was amazing. The dark fantasy, amazing. I would have preferred that, don't get me wrong, to be in this game as well. But, I mean, if you can give me something interesting that is not dark fantasy, I'm still okay with it. This just looks bad. This is not interesting. The more I think about it, the more I take a closer look at the player character models, or just models in general. The heads are too big, the bodies are weirdly proportioned. You have this Star Trek, whatever, in front of their faces whenever they do an expression. It's weird. Should we even talk about the freaking Konari? I don't think so. And I can just go ahead and count more negative things, but at the same time, it's cool that this game is gonna run smoothly. I know that's not something we should be praising. It seems like from everybody's reporting, this game is gonna come out and it's gonna be optimized well, which is insane. It never, when's the last time that happened? 20 freaking years ago. Anyhow, that's cool at least. There's no DLCs, no expansion packs you gotta pay for. Presumably we get the whole story. Nothing is taken out of the game. Again, when's the last time that happened in an EA game? Probably like the last Star Wars Jedi Survivor boot. That's a exception. The game isn't $70, it's $60. These guys are trying everything in their power to survive as a company. But again, if you mess up the story and the characters, which is the number 1 and 2 things about any BioWare game, you can kiss your company goodnight. The features they took out of the combat, it is saddening. I wish they were there. I don't know why they aren't. It's, bad. But at the same time, like when I look at the combat, I do think it's going to be fun. The fact that you can customize your mage and your rogue and your warrior in meaningful ways and have so many cool abilities that you can experiment with. The fact that you can choose your background, the character customization, even though the direction with the art that they went with, it's bad, but the customization, the hair physics, that's insane. You have over 130 hairs between human, elf, and Konari and everything else when it comes to creations. And like BioWare always had probably the worst type of character creation screen in all AAA video games. Finally, they made something that's, I think pretty decent. Still leaves a lot to be desired. Like if you want a huge yacht, well, tough luck. I think you're gonna have to go ahead and mod the game. But yeah, other than that, again, I like the backgrounds. Like you can be an NTV and Crow if you want, and then that's gonna be mentioned in dialogue. I really think it's gonna be the same as the Cyberpunk choice, where you can be a street kid or a corpo. So, you could just say like a couple of different lines with that. That was it. I feel like that's the extent we're gonna get with the backgrounds we choose when it comes to Dragon Age the Veilguard. Actually, one difference is we're gonna gain favor quicker with the NTV and Crows if we are an NTV and Crow ourselves. I don't know how that's gonna affect the gameplay, but hey, other than that, besides the style, I do enjoy the graphical fidelity, like the reflections, the rain, the graphics, the textures in general. I do think with the environment, they're cool. And so far, everything that I've seen, I'm still cautiously optimistic, but I'm expecting a Dragon Age 2 repeat with this game. So it's gonna be something worth experiencing because there's gonna be a couple of cool moments here and there. And the game itself is not gonna totally suck, but it's definitely not going to be reaching that legendary status like Dragon Age Origins did. The marketing for this game has done a lot of damage to it, but eventually what is going to cause a downfall is not going to be the gameplay. I think the gameplay is going to be solid again. Not the graphical style, the direction that they went to. It's going to get them a lot of ridicule, but I feel like it's going to be the writing. I am scared of it. Mass Effect Andromeda had some of the most forgettable writing ever. It was just bad. So bad that I can't even hate on the game. It's just forgettable. At least you remember the room, Spider-Man 3. I mean, come on, man. But yeah, this game, like I said, is giving me that Mass Effect Andromeda. vibe, and if that ends up what's happening, because hey, it is pretty much the same team that built Mass Effect Andromeda, kind of working on this game, if I'm not mistaken. So that's why I'm really cautiously optimistic. And let me tell you, if I wasn't a Dragon Age fan, which I think this goes for a lot of us, if I didn't love especially Origins, and hey, I like the other games a lot too, I don't think I would want to play this game. I don't think I would have bought this game even on a sale. But because I'm a Dragon Age fan, and this might be the last Dragon Age game ever, at least from BioWare, and that might mean for a while, I'm gonna have to check it out. And you know what? If it's bad, it doesn't suck that much, because then we can go ahead and collectively just go back to Baldur's Gate 3, which is basically a spiritual successor to Dragon Age Origins anyways, and we can just live a happy life. But hey, again, that's just me.